Hey tennis fans, I'm Grace Carter and this is Tennis Now. Maria Sharapova faced a disciplinary hearing in London this week. That tribunal is going to decide her punishment for testing positive for the banned drug meldonium at the Australian Open. According to the ITF president, a decision should come by Wimbledon. Experts are split on her punishment, with some saying she'll be back on court this season and others speculating that she's going to be hit with a one-year suspension. An ESPN poll of pros asked Maria's peers what they believe her punishment should be, and an overwhelming majority, 64%, said Sharapova should be suspended for at least 1 year. 29% say Maria should get a multi-year suspension. Nearly 95% of the players polled support a significant suspension for her. Important to note here, though, only 31 players participated in that ESPN poll. However, the overwhelming support for a lengthy ban shows that Sharapova's rivals regard this as a serious offense, and there isn't a lot of sympathy for her on the circuit. Meanwhile, Maria has been training while serving her provisional suspension and is committed to a comeback. The question is, what would a lengthy suspension mean to the 29-year-old's competitive career? We asked 3 experts about it: Hall of Famer Chris Evert, former top 10 player Brad Gilbert, and former U.S. Davis Cup captain Patrick McEnroe. What will Maria's biggest challenge be for her comeback, and how will she do? Patrick McEnroe says it's not going to be easy, but he points to Maria's fierce desire, championship track record, and her continued commitment to training as reasons why he believes she can come back relatively quickly. ESPN analyst Brad Gilbert says Maria will come back as an unseeded player, which is going to mean very demanding draws, and that will be a huge obstacle for her. He says a lot of players will not feel sorry for Maria. He says for them, it's an opportunity to maybe get her when her confidence isn't quite there, and she'll be at the mercy of the draw being unseeded. 7-time French Open champion Chris Evert, who has known Maria since her junior days, says she was already showing signs of decline before the suspension, like missing nearly 4 months of last season, including the U.S. Open, by the way, for the second time in 3 years. She's been having more injuries lately and more losses to lower-ranked opponents. Chrissy says time is running out on Sharapova's career. Evert also says Sharapova's time away from tennis and a taste of the good life without the daily discipline of the game could drain her motivation somewhat, and she says she thinks Maria's days as a top player are likely done. Let us know what you think. We'd like to hear your thoughts on all this. And you know, while we were talking to Patrick McEnroe, we couldn't resist asking him about the news of Shia LaBeouf cast as his older brother John McEnroe for a Hollywood movie. He says Shia LaBeouf is pretty good for casting. He says he's a little bit crazy, so it might work out perfectly. Coaching news this week as Tomas Berdych parted company with coach Danny Valverdue. The split comes after Tomas suffered a humbling 6-0, 6-0 double bagel defeat to David Goffin in Rome. Valverdue formerly worked with Andy Murray. Now, there have been rumblings that Andy is eager to reunite with former coach Yvonne Lendl. Tim Hennon, Andy's former Davis Cup teammate, told The Independent that he thinks Murray should stick with current coach Jamie Delgado because Andy is getting some of his best results on clay. Brad Gilbert says if Andy were to win one or both of the next 2 majors, he'll likely not hire a new coach. But if Andy struggles at either or both of the next 2 slams, he expects Murray to hire a new coach after Wimbledon. Roland Garros is the ultimate clay court tournament, but did you know the King of Clay's home will soon be a grass court haven? Rafa Nadal's home of Mallorca is hosting a new grass court tournament next month. This week, former number 1 and Mallorca native Carlos Moya, former world number 1 Ana Ivanovic, and Uncle Tony Nadal all came out to take the ceremonial first serves at the new tournament site. And that scene got Anna to thinking. You know, when it comes to grass court tennis, few players have ever shown the volleying skills of Martina Hingis and Pat Cash. We're going to leave you now with the former Wimbledon champions in an old-school grass court volley duel with a picket fence for a net. Very cool. That's the news for now. I'm Grace Carter. See you next time here on Tennis Now.